Hello, welcome. Are you ready to be inspired with another exciting story on how I found my destiny? I'm your host, Reverend Steve, and I'll be inviting special guests from all around the world to join us in our London studios, and they share with us their unique mystical experience. With every journey, we discover something new, something extraordinary, and it feels like we're right there with them every step of the way. For some, they actually seek out the path, and it takes years of struggle. And we find for others, well, it's as if destiny finds them. And as the great mystic Rumi said, what you seek is seeking you. We will discover that no two journeys are the same, but they lead to the same destination. I'm delighted this evening to invite our very special guest from Karnataka in India, Asif Fez Ullah. Goshi Maraba to you, Asif Fez. It's wonderful to
Koshay
see you.
Maraba. Thank
And
you. Thank you for inviting me.
yes, you're our first guest from India, and we're very delighted that you're joining us and sharing with us your wonderful story. So let's start right from the beginning. Where did it all start for you, and where you were born?
I was born in Maharashtra, another state, and my whole education and I lived in Karnataka. My almost the whole schooling took place in Bangalore.
Yes.
My high school was actually in a church, Infant Jesus Church in Bangalore. In the same compound my high school was, and I used to attend all the masses and all. As far as I remember, I always loved Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And as I grew up, I had this weird urge of I wanted to know everything.
Right.
Like it felt like it was a sickness because I couldn't let go of thing if I don't get an answer.
Yes.
But it was there. I stayed with it.
This started from a very early age.
Yeah, it I guess it was in my teenage years when this
Yes.
all weird thing started. Then I did my diploma in information technology.
Right.
It was around 2002. My father bought a computer in my home, and for a middle class family, it was a big deal to have a computer in home in 2002.
Yes.
So that is when I discovered uh, my fond for poetry and stuff. I loved Mirza Ghalib,
Right.
and I had a very nice bond with my father. I used to share with him all these stuff. We both used to really enjoy this, listening to ghazals and stuff. Then I never liked this Maulvis, what they talk about, the way they presented God in the
Right.
mosque.
Mm-hmm.
They would always talk about how you need to fear God. And I used to discuss with my father, why do you talk like that? Why don't
Yes.
they say love God? Why they say to fear God?
Right.
My father was very supportive. He supported me when I wanted to do uh, diploma and I wanted to do animation after that and not go into do engineering. I did animation course. I worked as animator for a few years, and I felt like this is not what I want to do all my life. So I quit that job.
Yes.
I started making movies. I would work freelance. I would save money, and I would make my own movies. I would
Right.
produce my own movies, and I just would make. One thing used to happen those days was I had a lot of friends who were also into filmmaking. But whenever I used to go try to make something, uh, I used to be all alone. It's not like they were doing it on purpose, but something never clicked. But now I feel like Sarkar trained me to be alone, to work
Right.
alone, to
Yes.
have knowledge of all the departments. So it's not just I know only one thing. Uh, yeah, my father was supportive with that as well, because quitting job and doing this stuff, and he was very supportive with that. Then me and my father planned, and we started off a business.
Yes.
We opened a manufacturing unit of incense sticks, what we
Right.
call agarbatti. We planned a lot, and for months together, we constructed the building. We got all the machines, and it was a huge setup.
Yes.
And right time when we started to understand what was going, like how it all works, it was just 3 weeks since we started the factory,
Yes.
and my father passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It was a huge shock for us, because the way it happened as well was a very shocking. He was just sitting in our living room, happy, smiling, and just like that, he was completely gone.
And he was such an
Uh,
important figure in your life.
yeah, he was. Like that's why it completely shattered us entirely to our family, because uh, he was very into everything we
Yes.
had. And now so many things were going on. A month later, my brother's wedding was supposed to happen. So we postponed it one more month. And these kind of times were the most, I would say, the lowest point in my family
Right.
we had to face. But something was felt those days, was there was somebody helping us
Yeah.
even at those times.
Right.
Me and my mother used to feel that. We didn't know who it was. Then the wedding took place, and there is a ritual in Islam, Iddat days they call. When the husband dies, the wife has to, not go socialize with people for 4 months and 10 days.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah, my mom was in home for 4 months and all. So, what my younger brother did was, he wanted to, once the days are over, he wanted to take her out to, just refresh her mind, and
Yes.
my mother doesn't like going out here and there, so he knew where she would like to go, so he took her to all the shrines of the saints of God, in all
Wow.
the famous shrines in India.
Beautiful. Yes.
So they went everywhere, from Agra to Delhi to Mumbai, Bangalore, and back. And this time when my mother went everywhere, she, at every shrine, she prayed that, guide me and my family towards the right path. And when she returned, she had this Galaxy Tab with her, and she had been using for almost 4 years,
Yes.
and she had been always watching uh, YouTube videos of Islamic videos and all. But this happened when she returned 2 days into it. In the recommendation, Sufi Master Salgor's video was recommended,
Wow.
and she saw that, and she was amazed. She was like, "I have never heard something like this."
So how long ago was this? What year are we talking about here?
This is 2017.
2017.
Yeah,
Right.
3 years back, almost exactly 3 years back, you can say. So she started watching, and she loved it so much. She kept on watching for 7 8 days straight,
Wow.
and she was like completely hooked. Like she has never heard something like that. She was loving it, and I didn't know she was watching it. So one day I had come for lunch from the factory, and I was leaving back, and she was telling something, and she suddenly said this, you should listen to them. These are your type of stuff.
Yes.
As the first thing I was like, my type, I don't know what my type is. And then my mom is saying, let's just see. So, I was trying to look at the tab, and in that microsecond, your brain creates a expectation image,
Yes.
so it created a image like, there will be a white cap or white long beard or stuff like that.
Right.
And the moment I saw the paused video, it was one of those old videos, I believe of 2010 or 12, where Sufi Master used to sit on that red couch, and there
Yes.
used to be a small table in front of it, and they used to
Right.
press the button and speak. So I saw that the moment I saw that, something jumped inside me. I was like,
Wow.
wow, now you're talking. Now this is going to be fun. Because there was no show off here.
Yes.
So my mother was telling me, just listen to them, and you see that there was no show off, that it felt like this is going to be fun. So I just quickly shared the link to myself, and I watched the video in the evening. I knew this was it. Like this, the I don't remember what video it was, but I remember they were talking about different realms. The
Right.
the uh, discussion was going on different realms, so that was very new, because nobody talks all those stuffs.
No, no.
And I loved it, so I started watching myself as well. And I remember it was probably my second video or third video I was watching.
Yes.
I was sitting on my laptop and I have my headphones, and I just played the video, and something, I don't know, it was a voice or somebody told, or my thought, or I don't know, it just said to me like, you wanted to know everything, right? This is where you'll find everything.
Wow. Yes.
I was like, what was that? And I just recalled what was said to me, and I just looked. I knew it. I said, yes, if there is a possibility, there is a place where everything can be told, this has to be this place. If it's not here, then it's nowhere else.
Mhm.
Then we just hooked into it. I started watching videos, I started reading about uh, everything online, and me and my mother used to watch video and discuss about it. Then we learned there is a live mehfil goes on
Yes.
every night. So it was Ramzan going on 3 years back, Ramzan. So 2008, 17's Ramzan. So we started watching live, and I when I learned that there is Sarkar Ghos's image on the moon,
Right.
I was so overwhelmed, and I was just seeing that, like I could see the image in the photos. I would sit and Google and see all the images of the moon. I would see like, yes, I can see there. Yes, I can see there. And one image would come out like it's different rotation. I was like, oh, it's not here. Then I would rotate, oh, it's here, it's here. I was so excited about it. And it was a different thing because I used to call myself a selenophiliac, the one who loves moon, staring
Yes.
at the moon.
Yes.
So so I was like, I have been seeing moon all my life and I didn't know this. And I wanted to see that in real so bad. But when the full moon, the Jashnesha, it was 15th of Ramadan, right? When the full
Right.
moon was at that time, I was, I tried to go out and see the moon,
Yes.
but it was full cloudy. There were clouds. I was just wait till the cloud would move, but there was a huge lineup of cloud, so there was no way I could see that. I waited for 3 4 days, nothing happened. Then few days later, I had this dream where I called up Alra TV and I told I want to take the zikr,
Right.
and I was told you have to come to this place, uh, meet us at this place. So I went to that place. It was a weird place. I had never been there. It was a very different kind of a place. And
Yes.
there was lake in front of me. I was just standing there, and I just looked beside me, and there was Sufi Master.
Wow.
And I was like so happy, and I jumped in joy, and I started like a small baby, when the father comes back from the work, and a
Yes.
small child runs to him and starts talking about what all he did the entire day.
Right.
Even while
Yes.
he's not letting to take off his shoes. I was like that. I started blabbering in front of them. I was like, we came to know, my mother saw first video and she told me to watch, and I started watching. I loved it. I loved it so much. Started watching more, and we had learned more. And when I came to know that there is live mehfil, we started watching live mehfil. Then I came to know Sarkar Ghos's images on the moon. I wanted to see moon so bad. When I went to there was clouds. I was just going on, and Sufi Masha
Wow.
was like, you want to see moon? He just grabbed my hand, pulled me aside. Okay,
Oof.
see. And I was blabbering. I was like, okay, it was a huge moon right in front on the sky. It was so
Wow.
huge and it was so nearby that I could see the curve of it.
My gosh.
I tried to recreate this in the movie,
Yes.
which I've
So
felt.
this was by a lake. You saw the lake there, and Sufi
Yeah,
Master was standing there, and you were obviously, like you said, it was like greeting your father coming home from work, so excited to say everything to bring everything out
Yeah,
all in one turn, that you want this, you want that, you saw this. And then all of a sudden you saw a huge moon.
ye-
Oh my gosh.
yeah. They just pointed out. I was standing there right from I don't know how long, and suddenly they said, "Like, just see," and suddenly it was there. And so then after that, I finally took the zikr. I called
Yes.
up and I took the zikr, but it was so much inclined in my brain that the heart has to activate in 7 days. If not, then you are rejected by God.
Right.
So I took the zikr and very obediently I followed all steps. I would write 66 times. I would do whatever is told for 7 days. And seventh day, nothing happened. And I was like, bro, you calculated it wrong. Actually, it's tomorrow, it's the seventh day. I was like, okay, fine. So the next day, I waited, and even the next day, nothing happened. And I cried. I knew I was rejected, and I just kept on crying and crying. And when I was to cry, I used to see, the word Allah written in my handwriting floating around, like the Sarkar says, it floats in your eyes, and it would float. And I was like so into it, like it's the time is over. I was to cry, like, what's the use now? Why are you showing now? It would have been useful if you showed yourself 2 days before. I would have just placed it on my heart. See, I'm placing it on my head, nothing would happen now. But I cried for 3 days. Then on the fourth day, I was thinking, see, that's it. The God has rejected me. What will you do now? I was like, I don't know. So will you stop coming to the live Mayfield now? I said, no, 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 no way, no way. Never. I'm not gonna stop coming to the live Mayfield. Then what's the problem? Like, if your heart had been activated, you would have been coming to the Mayfield. And if your heart is not activated, you're still gonna be coming to the Mayfield. So does it really matter if your heart is activated or not? Then I was like, yeah, I don't care if my heart is activated or not. I got Sarkar Gohashai. I don't care about this. And I just left it. I didn't care. And a month later, my heart got activated, and I was like, hmm, should I be happy about it or not? I wasn't sure. But somehow, gradually, I did get happy,
Yes.
and stuff started happening a lot. Then I would wake up in the morning, and I would be going, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. And I was like thinking, why am I saying this? And the other day I was going like, Ya Isa, Ya Isa, Ya Isa. It was weird, but it was amazing feeling.
So this was like an involuntary repetitions of Ya Isa and Ya Mehdi
Yeah.
and this that was going
Yeah,
on
like
during that place.
you're getting off the bed and you're just started speaking, loudly, like, Ya Isa,
Yes.
Ya Isa, Ya Isa, Ya. Why am I saying this? So something was happening in the night, and it was kept repeating, and I started saying it in the morning.
Mhm.
Then we used to watch live Mayfield, and there used to be times when there was a fragrance would fill in the entire room.
Wow.
And like I said, I was working in incense sticks, and we used to work with lots of scents.
Yes.
So I knew a little bit about scents, but this fragrance had a complete different structure. It was completely, I knew it right away. This is out of this world. Like nothing like this is here.
So while you were sitting in the live broadcast and watching Sufi Master,
Yeah,
then this
this will happen
fragrance
then.
filled the room. Wow, this is
Yeah, this will
amazing.
happen, like it used to happen a lot common back then. Me and my mother would just keep on just watching and go like we would just forget everything.
Yes. Oh,
Then
so
there was one small thing that used to little bit hurt us. Was we wished my father would have been here,
yes.
because he would have loved this as well. And it was very so close by, just 4 months gap, and this we found Ultra TV. So we had this thing in us. Then one of our MFI sisters from Dubai, I believe, she had questioned in the Mayfield that
Right.
what about the people who have passed away? How do
Wow.
we pass the message to them?
Yes.
So Sufi Master said for that particular day that if you want to pass the message to the past one, just go to their grave and say it out loudly. If anybody asks, say Sarkar Gohar Shahi is Imam Mehdi. Just say it out loudly in whatever grave you go, and not just your own family grave. Just say it every grave you pass by.
Yes.
So my elder brother, he went to the grave that day, and he did like told
Hmm.
at my father's grave. And few days into it, in when the live broadcast used to be going on, we would close our eyes and we would see lots of people sitting, and Sufi master sitting in front of us and giving the speech, and we would see your father in the program as well.
Wow.
And I saw that few times, and my mother used to see almost every day. And there was once when Ra Riyaz Zikr was going on in the live program, and my father was doing Ra Riyaz and he was dancing. Now we this is like one tiny thing that had something, and it was blessed, and we
Mm.
know father is connected as well.
Wow. What a beautiful family. So your father was so supportive of you from a very young age. And
Yeah,
then unfortunately and very sadly, he left us early. But then your mother was more than supportive because she
yeah,
introduced you to Ara
yeah,
TV, and every step of the way she was with you. My gosh, how! But
my,
you always felt that you were in a warm embrace. You were being guided and you were being looked after. Even
yeah,
before you
before,
joined Ara
yeah,
TV and you came across Sufi Master Yunus Akbar, you felt you were under the glance of a
yeah,
guardian. Wow.
yeah. We knew somebody was helping us around all
Yes.
our life whenever we ever had any uh, bad situation. But when after this started, uh, I'm a filmmaker, so I would just sit around like I want to make
Yeah.
something now on this.
Wow.
So I would sit around for hours thinking of something, and I would always feel like maybe this would be disrespectful, this would not look good, and I used to not have any idea. I would just sit, break my head, and nothing would come. And Sufi Masters uh, Nepal tour was announced,
Yes.
and January 2018,
Hmm.
and me and my mother went there.
Oh,
And time I remember I was shooting with my camera,
right.
and I was standing in front of the gate, and Sufi Master was walking on the street, and he was coming by. And I was while shooting, I just saw them, and something inside told me that the one you are seeing right now is not a person. The one who you are seeing right now owns this place, controls this place. It felt like the whole street was breathing with them.
Oh my
As they
God.
were walking by, the whole street was, is was in celebration.
Yes.
I Then the next day we got chance to speak with Sophie Master, and they were speaking to somebody else, and they suddenly looked at me and called me Faiz Bhai. So the first time they called me Faiz Bhai, and Brother Steve, you too, or whenever you message, you say Goshe Maraba Faiz Bhai.
Yes.
So it reminds me of that
Oh.
precious moment a lot. I don't remember what I said to Sophie Master as in reply.
Yeah.
I don't remember much. When I was there in Nepal, a weird thing was when I used to go back to my lodge, and uh, my brother used to call to check out how everything is going on, and my phone used to ring. I used to see my brother's name popping up, and I couldn't remember him. My mind used to tell me like this is my brother, but I couldn't feel familiar. I didn't recognize him. I didn't know how to speak to him.
Right.
I used to be confused. How used to I speak with him then? I used to even see the photos of my brothers, my home, and nothing felt familiar. It My brain used to tell me, yes, this is your home, but it didn't feel familiar at all. But the moment we returned back to India, everything came back. My brother's call came. I knew everything. He was again familiar. I could
Wow.
remember my home. And when we returned for the after the first trip, I remember after that our all 24 hours were shaded with Sarkar Ghoshai. We would
Right.
sleep with his name. We would wake up with his name. Earlier, we used to watch a lot of videos, but this was completely different. Everywhere I see everything, I would think of only Sarkar Ghoshai. Everything
Right.
I just wanted to do this, that, and the idea for the known unknown came then.
Right. So
At
let's
fun.
introduce that then. So then you decided to use your filmmaking skills and all your experience to help the mission,
Yeah,
and so others can experience the image of Imam Mehdi on the moon. And so you've decided to make a movie, a short movie, and
yeah,
this was called The Known and Unknown.
yeah. The known unknown.
The Known Unknown, right?
Yeah, so I did write back then, and but because lots of hurdles would come up, and it didn't get made back then. Then the second trip of Sufi Master was announced in November 2018.
Yes.
Then we again visited Nepal, and I had there were so beautiful, precious, small moments with Sufi Master that that stayed with me. But when I came back, I would see people posting the photos with Sufi Master, and they were hugging Sufi Master,
Yes.
and this tiny desire started building up in me. Like, will I ever get that? Will I ever, get a chance to hug Sufi Master? And when the idea would come up, I would just go like, no, don't do that. You are filthy. You don't go near Sufi Master. Just stay away. Don't have these kinds of desire. Don't have these kinds of thought. I would try to compress it, and I did compress it. Then I just started working on other things. But this year, when Sufi Master um, came to Nepal again,
Yes.
I had forgotten all things that I had thought, but Sufi Master knew. He blessed me with everything. Every tiny desire what I had was blessed in this visit.
That's where you felt that you found your destiny right there. Um,
Yeah,
this tour.
when I was just when I was nearby Sufi Master, I knew I was home.
Yes.
This is where I belong.
Beautiful.
It nothing else feels right once you come out of there, and it feels like I don't know these things. It's not relatable at all. Like the previous things that I used to love, and suddenly there's no charm in them at all now.
No, no.
Like, why I used to like this stuff?
So the Known Unknown, you filmed that before the Nepal tour of 2019.
No, the No Unknown was done in 2019.
Yes.
That was the trip was in 2018.
Right. Yeah.
So after we came back, then finally we got together again, and we tried to make the movie. And this time we finally did end up making the movie. There is while making there is lots of obstacles always comes up, but one thing that really was weird was we had a plan of shooting for 3 days,
Yes.
and at the end of the third day we were like happy, okay, the shoot is finished, and we tried to copy the files, and the files were not there in the card.
Right.
The entire day's shoot was completely lost,
Oh my gosh.
and we tried to recover, and the recovery was going on, and it was taking time. So everyone left back to their places,
Yes.
and I returned back as well. And it went on, some festivals going on. It got delayed and delayed and delayed, and it was almost 18 days, and I have been waiting for the files. Then one day I got a call, and the guy said, yes, the files have been recovered. So I was like so happy, like, yeah, finally. And the next day he calls and says, no, the files, what we thought was recovered was not of day 3, they were of day 1. Now this thing completely, it confused me. It was a because it didn't make sense at all.
Yes.
Because why would day one file show up? It's no way it could show up. But after a long wait and all this, I was so down. I had so low confidence. I didn't had enough strength to again, reshoot, gather around everyone and reshoot. And I was just sitting on my terrace. I was like feeling so low, and I called for Sarkar Ghoshai's help. And I see in the sky the clouds took a shape of Sarkar Ghoshai's face.
Oh, wonderful.
I just kept staring at that, and I started crying. It
Yes.
was like Sarkar Ghoshai is here. He is looking after us, and he's here to help every time we need them.
Just a call away.
I, yeah, it was just there. I just kept staring for 2-3 minutes, and then I realized I should take a photo of it. Then the moment I took my mobile, the clouds started separating. So this was happening in real.
Yes.
It was not even dream.
Yeah.
And when this happened, I knew I had enough strength, and I was like, let's do it. I just called up everyone. I was like, let's do this. Let's finish this movie.
Yeah.
So we again gathered back after almost a month later. We gathered back again to shoot one day shoot, the final day shoot. They have been here even before we knew about Sarkar Ghoshai. Their help was there even before we knew them.
Yes.
And now we have been blessed to have known them.
Now
We have been blessed to have.
Now you've been brought home, and you're using your wonderful skills. And I highly recommend everybody watch The Known Unknown, which is also available on Amazon. And maybe, Asif, you can tell us a little bit about that. Amazon accepted your movie. I mean, what an accolade!
Yeah, yeah. It's they have this thing for new filmmakers, so they can they are given a platform, so the new filmmakers can put on their movies on that.
Right.
So it's available in US, UK, Japan, and Germany, I believe.
Well, congratulations, many congratulations on making such a wonderful movie.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, what a fantastic story. Thank you so much for joining us and being our first guest from India, and hopefully not the last. There's so many beautiful souls over there in India working so hard, sharing this message of love. And we're all feeling love for you and for your wonderful family as well, who've been nothing but supportive for you and guiding you on this path. Thank you very much for joining us. And take care of yourself, and we will speak to you very soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a wonderful, wonderful story? Asif Faizulla from India, who's, I mean, went through ups and downs in his life. He lost a little bit of hope along the way, a bit despondent with the mullahs and the way they portrayed Allah to him. And then through the support of his father, he just carried on. He learnt about the film industry, and which he used to great effect later on as his mother, after the passing of her husband, was taken to some shrines across India, and then just came across Ara TV and saw a speech from Sufi Master Yunus Al Gohar on Ara TV, and immediately had to show her son. And we thank God that she did, because we have a wonderful family with us now in the Universal Sufi Order, and long may they prosper and live amongst us. So thank you for joining me on another How I Found My Destiny. We'll be back again next week. Where in the world we will be, who knows? Tune in, and love and respect and blessings to all. Thank you for joining us.